Hello, I said I'd tell you all about what I sort of thought, maybe like first impressions of being back in England after, well, it wasn't that long, like I said last episode, like less than a year, but almost a year. And for my wife, it's been a lot longer. I think it's been about 3 or 4 years for her. Anyway, I suppose I should start at the airport. So we met my parents at the airport late, as you know. And it was really nice just being able to introduce my daughter to my parents for the first time. But I always find it weird, like meeting someone at the airport, because I mean, I don't know about other airports, but airports in England, the parking fee is crazy, like just ridiculous prices, really, really expensive. So I always, like, if I meet someone at the airport in England, and they've come by car, I always think, like, you meet them and you're like, hello, how are you, blah, 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 how was the flight, and all that kind of stuff. But then it's like, let's get to the car park, because if you don't get to the car park soon, then it goes up to like the next level, the next tariff level, and then it gets like doubles in price or something. It's just crazy. So I don't know, it's always a bit strange meeting someone at the airport in England. A bit of a rush. So we got back to the car as quickly as possible and left the car park, and had a bit of a talk in the car on the way home. But of course, it's past midnight by now. So my parents are tired, and we're tired, and my daughter, unfortunately, by this time is just crying and crying and crying in the car. But she does manage to get to sleep eventually, which is good. So we arrived back at my parents' house, which I don't think I mentioned it, but or maybe I did, I don't know. But that's where we are staying for the 3 months. And we went inside, and it's dark. It's, like I said, it's past midnight now. But it was familiar. It felt very familiar to me being back. Well, it would, wouldn't it? But I didn't know, sort of like a surreal familiar, like I can't believe I'm here, and at the same time I can believe I'm here, like a sort of like mixed feeling, I suppose. And I noticed that my parents had got like a selection of beers waiting for me, like English ale waiting for me, which was very nice, and some of my favourite snacks and things like that. But I was so tired. We talked for a while. You have to, because it's sort of an exciting thing, isn't it? Seeing someone after a long time, even though it was so late. But I don't know, I think it was only like maybe an hour or so. And then we all headed off to bed. And amazingly, I managed to sleep right through the whole night and wake up in the morning, like usual, like English morning time. And I don't normally do that. I think my wife did as well, and also my daughter. So the jet lag has probably been as bad as it normally is for me, to be honest. I think my wife recovered a bit sooner than I did. My daughter, I haven't even noticed any jet lag, but like I say, she slept really well on the plane. So I think she's fine. Anyway, shortly after we arrived, we had to go shopping. Well, I say shortly after, the next day we went shopping, and that was the day that I had like a day off work. So I had 1 day off work to travel to England, and then another day off work to just to do a few things, Well, to recover from the jet lag partially, because I thought like I'll be far too tired to work like immediately the next day, but also just go to supermarkets and pick up things that we need. So we did just that, and it was interesting walking around the supermarket. I mean, my wife loves it. She really likes looking at supermarkets, like foreign supermarkets, so supermarkets abroad, just because they're just so different to the ones in Japan. For me, it was interesting because, I don't know, seeing all these things, all these products that I know, but I haven't been able to buy for a very long time. And maybe some of them I'd even started to forget. So, looking around and like, oh, I remember that cheese. That type of cheese is really good. I'll have to buy that at some point. But also being a bit surprised. I remember one of the supermarkets we were walking around, and I was saying to my wife, like, look at the size of the meat. You know, like the meat over here is just so big. Like, I'm noticing things that I suppose like a Japanese person coming to England would notice now, because I'm comparing what our supermarkets are like, and I'm comparing them to Japanese supermarkets, and I'm just saying, like, look at this, look at how much this is, or look at how cheap this is. Or we saw like a bag, I think, how many grams was it? I don't know. It was the largest bag of pasta I've ever seen. Absolutely gigantic it was, and it was really cheap. It was so big, we had to take a picture of it and send it to my parents-in-law. That's how interesting we found it. So it's like I'm getting to experience being a foreigner in the supermarkets in England. It's like I'm being a foreigner in England, and I'm just looking at everything, taking note of everything, comparing everything, which is really interesting. It's a fascinating thing to be able to do to your own country, not just supermarkets, but towns and people and everything. I mean, the weather as well. The weather has been amazing. Like, there have been some days where it's been hotter in England than it has been in Japan, which is just bizarre. I mean, it can happen, but it's a rare thing. So we've been enjoying the hot weather. I mean, I wouldn't say it's been too hot. My parents have been complaining about it, like, oh, it's too hot today, the weather's too hot. And I'm just thinking, no, it's quite refreshingly cool, actually, compared to what I'm used to now. But yeah, what else have I noticed? People, I would say. I have to say, and maybe it sounds a bit rude to say, but it's just an observation. I have to say that people are a lot larger than I remember them being. And by larger, I suppose I mean fatter. I think, I don't know for how long this has been going on, but like, I think we've got a problem with obesity in England. And well, maybe it's just because I'm living in Japan, where everyone seems to be incredibly thin and slim. But I've been surprised again. Yeah, been surprised by how many big people we have over here. Like, surprisingly big sometimes. And tattoos as well. Tattoos are amazingly popular. A lot more popular than I remember them being. It seems that almost everyone has tattoos over here. So I've noticed, like, the trend is being very large and or having tattoos, or both. But then again, it could just be because of the weather. If the weather's good and people are wearing t-shirts and shorts and everything, you can see more tattoos. So maybe that's why it seems like everyone's gone sort of tattoo crazy over here. That probably is it actually, because I don't remember thinking this last time I came to England last August, and the weather wasn't so good then. So probably no one had t-shirts and shorts on. But anyway, we're all really enjoying being in England, and seem to be sort of like getting along fine, I suppose. Everything's going well. My wife commented when we were sitting in our local McDonald's. Unfortunately, McDonald's is about the only local place that we have near to us, within walking distance. There aren't any supermarkets in walking distance or anywhere or anything really apart from McDonald's, which is annoying. But anyway, we were sitting in there, and my wife commented that she feels a lot more relaxed in England, which I find very interesting. Because personally, I feel less relaxed in England than I do in Japan, because I know things are very safe in Japan. Maybe you've heard stories of people like leaving some personal belongings on a table in a restaurant to reserve it or something like that. Maybe a phone or a wallet or a purse. Maybe that's becoming a bit more rare these days, but certainly something that belongs to them and it's just left there and no one takes it. But we don't have that kind of culture over here in England. So I always feel a bit more less relaxed over here. I always feel like I've got to look after personal belongings a bit more. Don't flash your phone about too much or draw attention to it and all that kind of stuff. But my wife's just sitting there saying like, oh no, she feels a lot more relaxed. And I think the reason is because she's probably looking around at everyone and thinking that people look a bit scruffy. And I know exactly what she means, because they do. They look a bit scruffy to me as well. I mean, I'm comparing English people here to Japanese people, and I'm going to say that Japanese people look a lot smarter and well dressed than the people in the area that my parents live. And I think because of that, my wife feels more relaxed. Like she doesn't have to, I don't know, like sort of like live to the same standards, or try to attain the same level that these smart people look in Japan. Or maybe she feels like everyone's judging her more in Japan, whereas in England, maybe she gets the impression no one's judging anyone, and perhaps she's right. So yeah, there are pros and cons. But anyway, at the moment, like I say, everyone's enjoying it, and yeah, my daughter's fine. She's adjusted to the time zone perfectly well, sleeping all throughout the night already, which is amazing. I've been working, and I've been feeling tired when I've been working, as you'd imagine. Working with jet lag, that's how you'd feel, isn't it? But apart from that, really good. And we've got a holiday coming up soon. So I'm looking. It's only a short stay away. It's what is it? It's just 1 night. But yeah, I'm looking forward to telling you all about that soon. So until next time, bye bye.